Welcome back, Cult Lords fans. We are here for another version of our unboxing. And this one's a little bit different because we've already unboxed these, so you're not going to see us unbox these live. But we wanted to show you some of the cool comic slabs that we've gotten recently. And, you know, we've already unboxed them. We've picked them up in different locations. But we just thought these are some cool slabs we want to show off that we got. So Dane, this is my partner, Dane. Dane, you want to say anything?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I always, a lot of times you hear the readers, people that are like into every juicy detail of every single story and everything. Most of the time I buy the book by the cover. Right. I love the artists.
Yeah.
The artistry. I mean, and these days it's kind of overboard because you get 60, 70 versions of variants of number one, and it's all different artists. Sometimes the same artist. It's just like, I'm going to redo this and do another version of this. Yeah. And so that's the part I love the most, is the visual aspect of a lot of these things. So.
Yeah, I probably only read 10% of what I buy, and I hate to say that, because I either collect for, kind of future stuff. I collect to make sets, a few sets, but those I read, the ones that I do in the sets, right? Like I'm almost done. I think I need 7 more books to complete the entire 400 plus Avengers run. So, and those I read, right? And then like I collect the Star Wars Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, then I collect the Star Wars Bounty Hunters and Star Wars Darth Vader. But then the rest, man, I'm buying for covers and just that cool covers to display. And that's why I buy slabs, actually, is, yes, I buy them for maybe some investment purposes, but I buy them to display in my house because they're cool.
And they CGC, I assume, started this, where they like, you know what, we need to make these slabs look like something you can display, not like some stupid thing where we put all the info on the back and, it doesn't it distorts like the view. I mean, so in the last, 6 years, the slabs have really become much more prominent.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I'll have a version of an early slab to show people, but it's, I agree with you. I mean, if you're going to be investing, or if you just love the artist, or, in general, you love the storyline, or if you're a big Spider-Man or Batman fan, you're going to find something that you're like, man, that will look cool on my master bedroom wall.
No, I don't have anything in my master bedroom, but in my office where I have my movies, in my movie room, all along the top of my walls, I've got shelves to put slabs.
You don't have Batman above your master bedroom. You got your...
But today I wanted to share the 5 slabs I brought to show. Every one of them, I love the cover and wanted to be able to display them. So I guess I'll go first, Dane.
You should go first.
All right. So Let's see
this sucker.
And by the way, I'm kind of a slab snob.
Oh, I say, we are grand, aren't we? Oh, no more buttered scones for me, mater. I'm off to play the grand piano.
And the fact that I prefer CGC over the other.
Well, I agree with you. The other one looks cheap.
I just don't like the other ones.
I don't like like the way the layout is. It just doesn't look like serious enough. Yeah. Like a kid did it in their basement type of thing.
And then secondly, if it's a modern book, I only want 9.8. I don't want 9.6 or 9.4.
Well, I will agree with that. If you can get your hands on 9.8, I mean,
if it's for a modern book.
Yeah.
Like if I'm buying something from the 80s or the 70s or the 60s, I'm not expecting to get 9.8s on those things, right?
Right. Unless you're paying the big bucks.
Well, even if you want to pay the big bucks, something from the 60s is so rare to get 9.8.
Yeah.
So on the census, you just won't find them.
The greatest generation did not take care of their comics. I guess this is the boomer generation, right? That's not the greatest generation.
So
what up, boomers?
All right. So the first one I wanted to show off.
Let's see this baby.
Is a variant of Shang-Chi 1.
Oh,
let me show this.
I was looking at the back.
Oh, that's the back.
Even the nice looks. The back even looks cool.
Yeah, look at this front.
Yeah. So nice. It's like, it's got a little bit of
Bruce Lee in it, right? Don't you see that?
Yeah.
So to me, when you look at that, you see a little bit of Bruce Lee. You got the Spider-Man mask in the background, which is really cool. Look at this. The Spider-Man mask in the background.
Oh, with the, And why is that? Did he make an appearance in this? I didn't actually see this movie.
Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe, right?
And so you're supposed to be, what, against Spider-Man?
I guess so. But it's just a variant off of Shang-Chi 1.
And we were talking about CGC. They got a nice bluish tint on their things.
A nice bluish hue.
You know, it's and they do a better job with the graphics and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dane,
yes,
that was Shang-Chi. Let's see what you got to share.
Well, if everyone has been sleeping under a cave, there is, you missed out on the Berserker series, which is the Keanu Reeves, and I still want to do a full, entire, like, more detail-oriented thing about those. But these are one of my favorite slabs of all time from Berserker series is this. Looks extremely serious, and you can I'm trying to make sure it doesn't, like, reflect. You can see it. It's black and white. This is the Virgin issue, but the black and white issue. And it's got him in all his glory. This is the one done by Dan, how do you pronounce his name? Dan Quintana cover. 9.8. I'm also a snob in that form if I can get whatever I can get my hands on. But what's really cool about this one is, so this is the black and white, which is the more rare. That's actually the color version. So you get to see kind of like what's the difference between these two babies is that's one or the other. And I love both of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you want to
I'm trying to
away from the...
Trying to like get it to not reflect properly. So I think that's it right there.
All right.
So, but this is, I don't know what cover version. This is probably number 45 of number ones that were done by...
the variants.
Yeah, Dan Quintana.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, this is one of my favorite of all of them. Just because it looks super realistic. It's cool looking. They've got this, you can't really see it very well, but, you know, Berserker, his background goes all the way down like 80,000 years ago. And so you got a little bit of a hint of some of the old school Egyptian gods, Medusa, kind of sword, dagger right there.
Yeah.
And he's just badass. So you can't go wrong with this guy.
All right.
Can't wait till that makes its way. I think it's going to be on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you got?
So the next one I got, I think is really cool. Now, I just showed you this Shang-Chi, and it's got a blue label. And when it's a blue label, it's just the regular book. This one's a yellow label. And when you see the yellow label, or some people call it the gold label, it means it's been autographed. And it's been autographed in front of CGC representatives. So they won't grade book. Well, they will grade books, but they won't give it a yellow label if they didn't see the witness the person
so it's
sign.
a little extra special icing on the cake.
So when you see a gold label, yellow label, CGC book, you know that the
artist
art or the signature has been authenticated because it was witnessed
right
in front of
CGC. Representative. Yeah.
So this one is a yellow label, and it is Frank Miller 300. So, and it is autographed by Frank Miller. So
by him himself.
Yeah, so if you ever saw the movie 300, check it out.
Nice.
It's the Spartan helmet, and if you look real closely...
I can't see it. What is it? What are they?
It's different soldiers that make up the Spartan helmet.
Every single one of them?
Every single one of them is a different soldier. And then that red is Frank Miller.
And so did he design this cover too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's
a lot of work.
If you look real close...
25th Anniversary NYCC Special Edition #1.
Yep. And the Spartan helmet is made of 300 different Spartan soldiers. So it is really a really cool thing. Signed by Frank Miller himself. This is awesome on display. So
I would love to meet Frank Miller because I mean, he's done one of my iconic comics of all time, The Dark Knight Returns, which I guess pretty much put him on the map. I mean, I know he had done stuff not independently, but with the comic runs itself. But that was the first time I think he really put his name out there. Like, I'm gonna, have a very established.
Then he did some cool stories on his own, like 300 and Sin City.
Right.
But
Ronin, which never got turned into anything, I don't think, because that was a pure samurai. But yeah, and so am I up?
You are up, my friend.
Well, I'm going to continue your yellow. I better take it out of the wrapping. your yellow signage. So another Berserker. This one's signed by the artist himself, Vincenzo Riccardo. You can kind of see it right in there.
Yep.
And so this one I really love. Let me try to get this so you can see it better. But, I mean, it's so intricate and... Okay. So, you know, and it's got a dichotomy. There's the old school, because that's one of the things with Berserker, as I mentioned, 50,000, 80,000 years ago. Old school on one side, which you can't really see. I mean, it's hard to see in this particular. I'm trying to get some old school, and then new school with, like, advanced commandos and other people in the coming up to kill him.
Nice.
So, and this artist does a lot of this stuff with this very detailed, almost organic artwork. Yeah. So that's mine. I mean, I don't know if there's, you know, again, this is an edition number 1 virgin cover variant, and I don't know, just like you buy things for the cover. Yep. And this one I was fortunate because he signed it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Next.
Well, the next one I have...
Put it back in plastic.
Next one I have is also a signature series, so it's a yellow label. And it is a number 1 variant of Star Wars The Mandalorian.
Ooh.
And it's from Mike Mayhew. And I've actually got a lot of signed Mike Mayhew stuff. I've like followed his some of his streams where he actually sells some of his own stuff. But this one, look, is...
Oh, it's that one of these.
It's
you've shown me that and it's got... Is there like a different shimmer? Oh, is it like a almost lenticular?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, is that just a... Okay.
Yeah.
Just
it's
the
just the plastics on it.
Yeah.
But he's, you know, reaching... It's the iconic where he's reaching down to touch Grogu's finger. Signed by Mike Mayhew there.
Nice.
But once again, a 9.8. Mm-hmm. Star Wars The Mandalorian. Mike Mayhew Studio. And... it's pretty cool, signed by Mike Mayhew.
And his other stuff is his little, I don't know what you want to call it, shtick is that if is this the same cover you showed me when he did like a Luke Skywalker?
No, that's a different artist.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Different artist.
So what is? I mean, so is there another cover I've seen of his before that
I've got a lot of his covers?
Okay.
Maybe.
The name is familiar, but yeah, I'm not into the artist as much. Yeah. And he hasn't done any Berserker covers, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
All right. Well.
Yep. So what do you got there?
What we got here? All right. So we talked about different slabs.
Right.
This is an old school slab, probably pre all of these other things. This is what they used to do with slabs. You can kind of see it here.
Is it graded?
No.
Oh. Then it's just a homemade.
It's just a home, but this was a slab, and I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, I don't think it's homemade. This must have been something.
They call them screw down holders.
Screw down holders, but I had never seen one of these before, other than, you know, you don't see them that often. Yeah. But generally, you know, this is Spider-Man.
You can still order this online.
Oh, really? I don't know why anyone would want to order these. I found this somewhere, but it was like Web of Spider-Man number 1. Yeah. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah. It's in great shape. It's been screwed down the whole time, so, you know, it's not, there's no... If I went and got it rated, obviously that would be a whole nother ball game. But
that's not a 9.8. I can tell you
it's not a 0.8. So, although I have a number of these, and it does look a little bit grayish on the sides, anyways. And those have been sitting in a box in a closet for a long time. But
this isn't a slab, folks. This is just you can have top loaders. There's different just things you can store them, and this is called a screw down. So
yeah. Well, somebody went to the extra effort to do their screw down because, man, I would not do this.
I have some of those.
You have some of those too, right? Yeah. So I just think it was interesting because, you know, it's an early version of a slab, a custom design. Yeah. No rating on it whatsoever. Yeah. But,
you know. I wonder if you call something that's not graded a slab. I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know the terminology for it, but I do know these are called screw downs, and you can still buy them at that BCW Supplies.
Oh, really?
Online. So yeah.
Well, maybe what happened was this was like en vogue for a long time, and then when all these other rating companies came out and they started doing it, like, no one did this anymore.
People have stopped doing this. Yeah. I mean, they still sell them, so I guess some people are still doing it, but you don't see it very often. So. Yeah. All right. So my next slab is brand new. This is the latest slab I got, and I saw it, and I got a big deal on it because if you go to eBay and you look for the sold on these things, there's not many of them out there. But it is a Conan the Barbarian #1 variant, and it is the photo movie variant. Look at this, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Your buddy Arnold.
Arnold, look.
Let's hear some lamentations.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
So this is perfect to display.
Yeah.
If you're a Conan fan, you want that on your wall.
Or an Arnold fan.
Yeah, so, and I'm telling you, go look on eBay, Conan #1 photo variant in a 9.8. Look how much they're going for. That's all I'm gonna say. And then when you see how much they're going for, know I got a big deal on this thing. So
Sweet.
on Whatnot. So. All right, so that is my Conan.
And that was when this was a reissue, right? It came out in a certain, like...
Well, no, it's just like how they do this. I mean...
But, I mean,
so,
is this like a volume number that, like... Because it's #1.
Yeah, it's #1. Came out in March of 2019.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering about.
Yeah, but you know how they keep putting out #1s for like 4 years later? They just come out with a new variant.
Yep.
That's what this is, so... All right, Conan... All right, what's your final slab to show off?
My final slab is not a comic book. It is a Playboy magazine. It is the original issue 9.8, but it is a reissue that they did in 2007. So this one, originally...
Oh, who's that? Jane Mansfield? On the
no. The #1 issue, December 1953. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn does kind of look like a little bit like Manson. But she was called Sweetheart of the Month back then. They didn't have he was only like 27 at the time. He hadn't kind of come up with his Playmate of the Month.
Right.
But there's it's jazz, humorous a tale of adultery, football's most exciting afternoon. I mean, these were solid reads when you're sitting on the porch smoking your pipe.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely the baby boomer type setup. And we've had this on display almost every single episode
since
except
day one.
Yep, since day one.
Yeah.
But if you get an original from 1953 on this, you're talking like $20,000.
Yeah.
We haven't really touched on money, but this is I think who kept a 1953 Playboy around in perfect condition.
Yeah.
So, but it's a great cover. Entertaining, you got a bit of history here. I mean, obviously Playboy's not super in vogue now. But...
And if you watch a lot of Cult Lord's trailer reviews and movie reviews, you almost always see that one. It's always in the same spot where that Star Wars comic is. It's almost always hanging right there. It's been there since day one. So.
Yep.
So I've got one more slab.
You got one more. Do it.
I left, for me, the best for last. Now, you were wondering if Mike Mayhew was that one artist that I always loved, and I always talk about I collect him.
Yeah, he does very sparse, drawings.
He does what they call
colorful.
Negative space variants.
Yes.
And this is one of his negative space variants, and they only did 2,000 of these books. This one is in a 9.8, and it's autographed by him.
Oh, nice.
And it's probably one of my more valuable slabs. But it is Wolverine #1, limited to 3,000 copies.
All right.
So not all 3,000 are 9.8s, I can tell you that, because there's only a handful of 9.8s out there, and they go for a pretty penny. But it is autographed.
Oh, I was wondering what it looked like.
But
that's exactly what I was thinking before. Was that kind of negative space sparse drawing that's cool.
Yeah. And it's actually not hand numbered, but numbered. This is 2,463 of 3,000 right here, right?
Did you say this was signed too?
Yeah, signed right here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Also, this is like a Japanese sign.
That's his stamp, actually.
Okay.
John Tyler Christopher. And I follow his website, and I've bought some other slabs. I've got the entire Star Wars negative variant collection now. So I've got the Emperor. I've got 2 different Luke Skywalkers. One in red, one in green. I've got Yoda. I've got the Emperor. I said there's another one.
Boba?
No. Anakin Skywalker in blue. There is actually one that I don't have, and it's a Star Wars annual, and it's Darth Vader with a red background. But those things go for thousands of dollars because apparently there was like only 500 made or something. Like that. So,
well, these days, I mean, a lot of these comic book companies are not printing, but they're just like, oh well, we did 500 of that first. We'll just do 500, another 500 of it. Like, who gives a crap? I mean,
well, no, not for certain variants. If they're going to do another 500 of us, they will make it different. Like, they might say, oh, let's go with a black and white variant of it. And,
yeah.
But they won't rerun. When they say,
so
we've limited this to 500, they're not going to go back and reprint that.
So that's the trick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool.
So
these are exciting. I love these covers. I mean,
yeah. I love these
every
covers.
One of these looks different in their own way.
You know what I'm surprised you didn't show? Don't you have a Berserker slab signed by Keanu Reeves?
That's going to show up in the special episode. This is not the special episode.
Because that, signed by Keanu Reeves. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some cool stuff. Like, I've got a couple of Frank Miller signed stuff. I've got, what's his name?
I was holding back. I got to hold it back for the kids.
What's the guy that did Spider-Man, and then he did Spawn?
McFarlane?
Yeah. I've got a Todd McFarlane signed Spider-Man.
All right.
So I've got some stuff. Got a Stan Lee signed.
Oh yeah?
Book. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not a slab, but it's a signed. I think a Submariner book. So yeah.
Well, and Stan Lee definitely liked very specific characters that he had a lot of genesis with. You know what I mean? And so he'll do that. You'll see his stuff, his signature show up on stuff that he really loved, a cover or, some of it.
He signed everything, though.
Oh, did he sign everything?
Yeah, his signature's out there. But, as much as it's out there, still commands a pretty penny,
Yeah.
You're talking at least $300 to $400 just for the signature alone. And then depending on what book it is, it can be thousands of dollars.
Well, and when you give up the ghost, everything goes up.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, there will be no new Stan Lee signatures. No. So unless AI can somehow do that, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Unfortunately.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Cult Lords fans, if you're not a normal subscriber, please go down and hit subscribe. Like 20% of our viewers are subscribers, 80% come in, watch us, and then leave. But we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Like this video. Tell us in the comments, what was your favorite slab that you saw here, and maybe what are some slabs that you recently purchased because either maybe you collect them for the value, or you collect them for the look, or maybe I know somebody who's going through an entire Green Arrow run of slabs.
Slabs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like imagine getting an entire comic run, and you're just doing it all on slabs.
It's really hard to store slabs.
Oh, it is. It's not easy to store slabs. So, but he's doing that. So,
wow.
Tell us what you thought, and did you like looking at these slabs? Did you enjoy this video? Should we do this more often? Let us know down in the comments. And Dane,
yes,
take us on out.
Oh well, I don't know what's the theme for slabs. I guess everyone have a peaceful time and spending time with their comics and their slabs especially. So have a great week, everybody.